Hey Clout Chasers, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel, and this is another SL roundtable, but we've decided to change the location. We're having dinner, or early dinner, I would say, or is it a late dinner at this point? Depends what time zone you're in, with some wine, and we're just going to have a chat about SL relationships. And I'm your host. I am Mousy, the ultimate SL Clout Chaser. Welcome back again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me consistently and watching my vids. I really appreciate that. And I have four amazing co-hosts with me today. We're going to talk about making money in SL, kind of like how to make shopping money, hobby money, and maybe like the end game, which is quit your real life job money. I haven't personally done that before, but I'd be curious to hear if anyone at this table has or know anyone who has, and let's just talk about it and jump right into it. So we'll start with Crymson. You guys remember Crymson from the Genus interview? And Crymson, correct me if I'm saying Genus wrong. But how are you and what are you working on?
I'm doing okay here. It is the Genus project.
Genus.
But
take
it's all right. I think Genus too, not a big deal.
take a shot,
Um,
guys. Remember, every time I say that wrong.
oh my gosh. But no, in terms of what I'm working on here, mainly, I am moderating here for Baddie as well as doing CSRing for Genus project and doing the Gatcha game here as
The gotcha game, what's that?
reselling Gatcha.
Ah, okay. That's a moneymaker in itself, but you're gonna have to hold that thought right there. Okay, and so we have here my sis Junie here. Hi Junie, how are you?
Mousy, how's it going?
It's going well. So tell us, what are you
So
getting
yeah,
into in SL these days?
yes. So my name is June. I'm also known as Pixel Chick Simmer on YouTube. I'm working on informational videos for SL as well as lifestyle videos, and I'm also working on a sort of clothing line, kind of jewelry line for SL based on horoscopes.
Okay, guys, and if you didn't know, like Junie literally uploaded her first item yesterday, and the necklace that she is wearing, hopefully I could zoom into that nicely, Gemini, even though we're in tourist season, I guess that's the next one coming up, is from Horoscope, and it can be found on Marketplace. So thanks, June.
Thank you.
All right, and now we have Mark here. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Tell us about yourself.
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. What can you add to this discussion, and what are you up to in SL?
Right now I'm help open a new SL strip club slash escort club that guys work at. I also help at the girl club, but I also used to own two clubs for almost 3 years.
Okay. So I guess you're kind of an expert in making money on the adult side of SL.
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I did pretty well for myself.
Okay.
I think to make expert money, you have to make something original, like, because you mentioned people that made enough to like live off of. I do know some people that have made enough to live off of, but it's people who make like original mesh or clothes or decor or something that's shopped for, or like gotchas. That's the only way I know you can make enough money to do that. Or if you're like the original land baron, like Anti Chung and all that, like if you own like a ton of Sims and rent them out, those are the only ways I know to make like money, like real money.
Like tap out money.
Yeah, like peace money, like Deuce's money.
Okay, okay. We'll definitely get into that as well. And hi, we have the lovely Izzy with us. Izzy, tell us about yourself.
I'm Izzy Solstice. I'm a dancer escort at the Monarchy and also the Twisted Orchid. And I just started a YouTube channel, same username, Izzy Solstice, and I'm doing shopping videos and exploring shopping events. So yeah, check it out.
Okay, and so I guess you'll tell us from the standpoint of not an owner, but an employee of an adult club, entertainment club, how much money that you don't have to tell us your personal salary, but the ranges of what you can possibly take home doing that. So,
For sure.
yeah, definitely. Thanks. All right. Obviously, there are many ways to make money in SL, and I guess the first thing that we should get into is more of the hobbyist way. Not hobbyist, but like, how can you make some shopping money? Anybody have any ideas on how you can just like easily make I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 lindens, maybe to pay tier on a small home and shop occasionally. You already have your head, you have the body that you like, you've made your initial investment. What can you do to get by an SL without just dumping tons of lindens, USD cash or any other currency to convert to lindens and spending like a maniac? Any takers?
I was going to say here, I know that the way that I used to do it here in between jobs, back before I was a CSR or anything like that, I opened up a small Gatcha booth and I would just, resell the stuff here that I already had, or even talk to friends here who would dump off their Gatcha on me because they were too lazy to sell it. And with that here, I was usually able to make a decent amount here, anywhere I would log in here and I would have 300 or 500 more linden than I had the day before.
What do you say you could make? I don't know. And so, how does this work? I guess you got to take us through it. So, you go to an event and say like Epiphany, and you're paying, I don't know, 50 linden to 75 linden. You have an initial investment of 1,000 linden or 500 linden, and you buy items. And do you just buy them with the intention of selling it, or is this kind of a little bit more passive? This is kind of what I don't want, so I want to just, get rid of it. How does that work?
Well, I mean, it depends here, because the thing is, not only are you going to Epiphany, but everybody you know is going to Epiphany as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know for me, I would have friends here who'd be like, Crym, are you going to do another giveaway or something like that in various chats? I would end up collecting stuff here, and finally people are just like, you know what? I'm just going to give it to you. If you want to sell it, go ahead. So I put it out here at a booth that I would rent for, 50 linden a week. I would put it here, and I'd price my stuff here at full price. And then there you go. I'm making like 300, 500 linden. It's not a lot, but considering here the work that I had to do for it, I didn't put a lot of work into it either. I would advertise my thing here maybe once or twice in various group chats, and people would go to my booth and buy things.
Wait. Okay, so when you say full price, I just want clarity on that. You pay 50 linden for an item. Are you selling it for 50 linden or market price for that particular item?
It depends here. I also work with somebody here, who, my friend Tristan, and my friend and boss, I should say. And with him, we tend to work together to do more high-end items, things that are a little harder to get, like full outfits and stuff like that. But when you're just starting, honestly, if you're just selling here, like if somebody paid 75 linden to get a certain prize, then you could res out that prize here and sell it for 75 linden. I think that's perfectly fair.
But so I guess, would you make money if you've already paid 75 and you just got it back? You're just getting your money back.
True, if you're the one that did it. But like I said here, everybody you know is going to Epiphany too, and nobody has time to sort through this. I send out boxes of free Gatcha for people to do all the time because I just don't have time and I need it out of my inventory.
Okay, so if you could find a group where there's some type of exchange going on, or you can get free gotchas, then you can go ahead and sell it. I do see a lot of people sell rares on Marketplace for just a crazy amount of money, like 1,000 linden, 2,000 linden, 2,500 linden. But would you say that once an event is over, say Epiphany, everyone and their mother did have access to it, but they may not have gone. And so after the event is over, does it make the item a little bit more worth more? As soon as the round ends, yeah.
Yeah, totally. And it's something here where there are, as you get more familiar with Gatcha and its community, because there is a really tight-knit community around Gatcha, it's just like anything in SL here. You don't want to go into something here and expect that you are the new sliced bread. Don't go into the Gatcha community here thinking that you know the rules, you know how it should be, and therefore your opinion is what matters. Make sure that you're friendly, you're kind here, because these are not only your competitors, these are your coworkers.
Okay, that's a good tip. Any groups that you might suggest for someone who wants to get into the Gatcha resale business?
Honestly, the Gimme Gatcha group here is a great place to start. A lot of great, fantastic people in there. And the Boss is Away group. Both of those here are amazing, and that's actually where I started here, was the Boss is Away sale that they have here every 3 months or so. You can take out here, basically you get a booth for free and you can sell your gotchas.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even know anything like that existed. All right, so that's yeah, thank you. So that's like really good information on gotchas. June, I want to jump to you because I know that you have like literally 3 jobs in SL. So can you tell us, I know you did a whole video on 7 ways to, make money in SL, but can you tell us what you do for work in SL, what traditional work that is, and how easy was it for you to start in SL and gain employment? Because you've only been in SL about 3 months.
Yeah, so I've only been in SL for I started my account in December, but I actually took a hiatus and I came back around February, I think. And ever since then, I've been, playing around in SL. And within like the first week or two of being in SL, I was able to get a job. So the first job that I got was at Zigzag Club, and it is a nightclub where I host at. And so basically how I got the job was I went on the forums online for Second Life, and it's called Inworld Employment, and I just went in there and I just applied to a bunch of different jobs. Then I got a call back, and yeah, that's how I got that job. And then I also have another job as a sales representative for a wedding company. And yeah, so that's how I got the job the same way as well, just going through Inworld Employment and hearing back from them. Yeah, it was pretty easy. I think you just need to have a decent looking avatar, nothing too crazy. Like once again, we're saying that this is the assumption that you already have the avatar, but yeah, so it's not that hard.
When you say decent looking avatar, is that a requirement for most jobs? And what would you define as decent?
I would define decent as anything that has like mesh, so like not like a classic avatar.
A default system avatar is a no-no.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, I feel like. And
can I ask one more question? Did you have to have like tons of dances in order to become a hostess?
No, they didn't even ask me about any dances or anything like that. They actually provide you dances on the platform that you go to usually. So that's how we work around that.
And what's the largest tip that you've ever received doing this, working as a hostess?
I've actually received 1,000 linden one time, working as a hostess.
Okay, and on kind of like a slow day, what's the least money that you've brought home working as a hostess?
Probably about like 100 to 200 linden.
But all in all, would you say that it's worth it?
Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. I mean, 200 linden, that's like an outfit, or that's like a top or something like that. So I mean, it's enough to get by. I think it's worth it in the end.
Okay. And I know that we're going one at a time because we have so many people here, but if you guys hear anything that you want to comment on or add to, like, you could feel free to do that. Mark, I'm going to go to you. So tell us about your experience.
Well, first I'll touch on some other ways you can make money. I mean, there's lots of ways you can hostess. That's like the most, the easiest way. Hostess. If you have some other outside of SL skills, there's people who do photographs, DJ, etc. My experience is in the adult club game as a worker, then an owner, and then I took a break from SL, and now as a manager, just a manager. I am.
You'll never be just a manager.
I'm just a manager. I am at a new club called the Marquis, which has a grand opening on Friday at 5 p.m. SLT.
This Saturday.
Yes.
Okay, guys. So we'll leave that information and landmark below if you guys want to check that out. So are your clients all women, or obviously both women and men? Who do you say frequents the club more for male escorts, women or men?
The ones that I have worked at have been 80% women, but guys do come in, and that's for me no problem. I just want to make everybody smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Like that's your role. But with that being said, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Crymson.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt here. I was just going to say that that's a common misconception here with escorts, is that a lot of people think here that escorts and strippers are really there for, just the adult type stuff. But as somebody here who used to be a dancer back in the day, I can tell you, we do so much more. We're entertainers just like anybody else, except for that we work one-on-one.
I would say I'm like an entertainer / psychiatrist / psychologist / bartender / anything that people like want to just talk to, because that's most of the things I do involve someone telling me how their day was, what they had for dinner, what's wrong in their life, what's good in their life. Like, it's like if you heard the conversations I have, you'd be like, this dude gets money to do this mundane thing. And I would say, yeah, actually I do. But I'm a good listener and people feel comfortable talking to me, so it works out. It's just like anything. You could pay $100 to lay on somebody's couch, or you can pay whatever, I don't know, 2,000 Linden to come talk to me for a while.
So
yeah,
Mark,
I would say a lot of my clients, sorry, I would just say a lot of my clients too, they just want to talk to somebody most of the time.
Especially women. I mean, women, they want to be held, cuddled,
Yeah, well, I know
Made to
a
feel
lot of
right.
grown men who want to be held and coddled too.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Of course.
But yeah.
So, if you guys don't mind, like, I don't know if there are like SL HIPAA laws against this, because you kind of are in a way an emotional medical expert in a way, like, because you're dealing with people's psyche here and their overall emotional well-being. Would you say, I don't even know if that was a good analogy, if that made any sense, but anyways, moving on. Would you say, like, give me an example of some things that people may come to you for, and what are you paid the most for, or maybe the least for? Just common requests, least common requests, something that you've really charged a lot for, and do you do anything that sometimes make you feel uncomfortable? So there are a lot of questions here. So choose anyone that you want to answer.
First of all, I would never do anything that made me feel uncomfortable, nor would I ever ask anyone that worked for me or worked with me to do anything they didn't feel comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
Never. Because this is still Second Life. It's still a game at the end of it. Yes, you can make money, but it's not worth doing something you don't want to do, for one.
Absolutely.
What I get paid the most for is cuddling. Definitely cuddling. Lots and lots of cuddles.
So, a woman or a man would TP you to their house to just cuddle?
They can, if they want to.
And how much would they pay for that?
In the club, it's about 1,000 Linden. They'll get you 20 minutes. Private, a little bit more.
Okay. And Izzy?
I mean, everybody's different.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And what about you, Izzy?
For me personally, probably the most I've been paid was a client who would just come to my place and he wanted me to insult him and embarrass him. There was no like contact of any sort. He would just sit there and he wanted me to just call him names. So I got a lot of money for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
So-
I think SL is definitely a place where you can explore your kinks freely because, you're anonymous behind your avatar if you choose to be, of course. So I can understand, and that's what I meant when I said anything that made you feel uncomfortable. I personally would not feel uncomfortable with insulting someone for pay. I would just feel like it's a mutually beneficial situation. But someone else...
Well, I've definitely had to put my boundaries up with some of my clients, especially like dom submissive relationships. So yeah, even though you may feel like you can't say anything to them or it's role play, like you can totally be like, hey, I don't like this, or just block them, so never feel pressured. Yeah,
it comes back to relationships. If you can't be honest with yourself, how can you be honest with other people?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So if someone asked you for something that you didn't feel comfortable doing, and say I was a different person, I didn't feel comfortable insulting someone, I feel like that's not how relationships should be, I could just easily say no and just pass your name along to maybe the next person who would feel comfortable.
Yeah, you can usually just reach out to your club's group and be like, hey, there's a client that wants this. Does anybody feel comfortable, And usually somebody does, so.
Okay, that's good to know. I do have another question around escorting. Do you think that there's that you get a bad rap in SL for this? Even though I think it's pretty prevalent, right? Do you think that there's a negative association with escorting or the adult side of SL, and how do you guys feel about that?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Hmm.
Never had
Hey,
anybody judge
Not
me anyway.
not really in SL. I've actually tried to stream Second Life before, and like been like, oh yeah, I'm a dancer and blah 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 and this and that. And sometimes people don't really understand what Second Life is
You're
or
Hmm.
not really
how
allowed
it
to
works.
stream SL on Twitch or anything.
No, you're not. So I don't do that anymore. But when I
Just
did,
just saying.
it got yeah, I know it got a lot of attention. But I would never show anything graphic. But anyway, people just they don't really understand it. But in Second Life, not too much because it is really prevalent.
Okay.
well,
And what about those who ask this question? Why would I pay for pixel sex or conversation text conversation or pixel cuddling for that matter? What's your response to that?
I mean, if I may here step in, I've heard that quite a bit here.
Hmm.
It's the same reason you pay for clothing. You can get the freebies just fine here, but if you want to go to somebody here who's going to be dedicating their time, dedicating their skill, and dedicating here their attention span to listening to you, to making sure to provide for your needs, you go to an expert.
Okay.
It's like better quality interactions as well as probably better quality avatars. So yeah, you get what you pay for basically.
Absolutely. And it's something here where, like, with, for example, I'm sure Mark knows this more than anybody. It's something here where the big thing that people don't understand is that you're not paying for a person. You don't get to keep that person. You're not paying for their dignity. You are not paying for, you know, you're not paying for an object. You are paying, you're compensating somebody for their time and for their talent.
Okay. I have to agree with you. That makes total sense the way you just
Yeah.
explained that.
I've also been on the other side where I just went to a club, like I was bored, and I just like tip somebody a bunch of money just to chill and talk because I'd rather just. I know that they're not going to be like. I have someone to talk to. I know they're not going to psycho crazy follow me home, show up at my sim like 24/7. I can talk, we can leave, and then we'll go our separate ways, and we'll see each other tomorrow. I don't
Mm.
have to worry about like any stalker, weirdo, etc. things that can happen.
Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Mark, why didn't you call me in the morning?
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems more professional. Like they know what you're there for.
We both know what we're there for.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the money. What is the range of income or lindens that you can make as an escort in SL, just as an employee, and then Mark will go back to you as an owner of a business.
Okay.
So Izzy, can you take the question as an
Yeah.
employee? You don't have to tell us your salary, but I know you know a lot of girls, coworkers and things
Hmm.
like that. So we can, or guys for that matter, that you can tell us what the range is in salary.
Well, it really depends what you do. Like if you just do text, you're not going to make as much as someone who does voice or camming, or specialties like BDSM or stuff like that. So it kind of depends what you're going to do. For me, I really have just done like text-based work.
Hmm.
So it kind of varies for me depending on the client. If I find a really good client and we're friends, like I know I have a steady income there. But as of right now, since I've kind of taken a break from dancing and, finding clients and stuff, probably I made like 1,500 lindens the other day just dancing for somebody, but that's probably as much as I would make in a day right now.
Okay. And so maybe a more experienced girl who has like clients who are like, yes, she's the perfect one. She knows the combination to my lock. This is the person I'm coming to every day. Because I know girls
Mhm.
probably build up their client list. Would you say like a
Yeah.
so-so kind of escort would they make, or or maybe I should rephrase the question, a proficient
A
text
text
escort,
escort.
how much would they make, or and then and Mark,
Mm,
you could feel free to jump in, voice versus cam.
I used to
Uh,
make more with text based, but that was when I had steady clients. But I would spend all my lindens all the time. So I'm not really sure what my whole estimated income was at that point, but I was making enough to shop all the time and buy a lot of things. So
How about pay tier?
definitely possible. Yeah.
And definitely pay tier. Okay. And Mark, what were you going to say?
I've seen girls make a couple 100,000 to a couple million linden a year.
Could you translate that to USD money?
1.8 million USD is about $9,000.
Okay,
something like that. I looked it up one time.
So 9,000 linden. And so as an owner and then also as a person who's been an employee, would you say that, which is obviously you think you'd make more money as an owner or more as a employee, of a person who works at a strip club?
I think as an owner you would make more, and then as a manager you make a little bit less, but more than normal, because girls and guys seem to like the tag. I mean, they want to be the one who's, in the arms of the owner. Ooh.
That is true, actually. I feel like owners are kind of like almost like celebrities,
But the split is so low. Isn't it like 90% to the girl or 80% to the girl and 20% to the
It's
club?
90% to the girl and 10% to the club.
Yeah, so that's why I was kind of questioned, like, how do the owners make money?
I know my owner, she does a lot of YouTubing. Her name is Mila Vanderbilt. She owns like the whole sim, and then like our club has like a bunch of different areas on the sim, and we have like a bunch of events. And to get into the club, you have to have a membership. So you have to pay a 300 linden one-time fee to even get into the club.
Okay.
So I think that's partly how she makes the money.
Yeah, I would never do that.
So how would you make money, Mark, with and guys, I know that we're focusing a lot on the adult aspect of it, but I'm really curious, and I promise we'll double back. But so if you were not charging a group fee, how would you handle this, and how would you make money as an owner? You were an owner. How did you make money?
The girls made money. I took my cut. I didn't need the money in SL. I still don't. I would just do it because I like it.
No,
I work in real life to pay my bills.
No, I understand, but we're talking about someone who wants to use SL as a passive way to make money, like as a hobbyist, like maybe $300 a month, or I don't know, $500 a month, $200 a month. Is that possible as an owner of a strip club?
Yeah, of course. I can do that right now as a manager.
I think what Mark is trying to say here is basically you put whatever you put into Second Life whatever time you put in here, your talent, etc. here, that's what you take out of it.
As hard as you want to work, it's how much money you'll make. If you want to stand at the edge of the stage and think you're going to make $1 million, you're not. If you want to work hard, build your client base, network, you'll make enough to cash out.
Absolutely.
I've seen a girl get tipped 300,000 lindens for nothing, just like that.
Yeah. No, that's very true.
Merry Christmas. Here's 300,000 linden. I was like, well, I just made 30K. Cool, thanks.
No, yeah, that's true. That's why I'm not making that much money right now, because I haven't been focused into it, not going out and meeting people. It's like, it really is like a real life job.
It totally is.
When I owned the girl club, I had 5 or 6 UK girls, and somehow the UK girls always do good. It must be their accents.
And
there's days I would wake up, because they're 6 hours ahead, I would already have like 20, 30, 50K in tips in for the day. I'm like, damn, girls. And then I only 10%, but I pay the sim, I pay my managers, the rest I just saved it, or put it back into the sim, buying new things, setting up for events.
Okay.
Like we had events every week, so I would set up like a new area every week with the theme and everything.
Oh yeah, and I remember you had auctions too, like date auctions.
Auctions, raffles.
See, that's what I was getting at. Like, so if you're not charging a group fee, how else are you making money? And I was going to throw out ad boards probably. But
yes.
So let's talk about this, because I want to give something to people that they can walk away with, right? So I want to be the owner of a strip club. What are the steps that I need to take? Do I get my sim, run out and get a sim and decorate it first? Do I get the girls first? How does this work?
You don't. You work first. You build the clientele. You meet other girls. Then, once you know you can afford to pay the sim, then you do that. you don't do anything first or you'll fail tomorrow. You build the base and then you make the castle.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you work and you build your own clientele because you know at minimum those guys or girls will be your customers that will come in. And then you have other girls who hopefully have extensive client bases as well work for
Right.
you. But so at the point where you're feeling like you're making enough money to pay tier is the point you can open your own strip club.
Yeah, if you want that kind of hassle, it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
I
but
have a question. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
Sure.
No. I think that people who are watching this kind of want the hassle. Like they want to know how to make money, and that's all, right? So, Junie, what's your question?
Okay, so I have a question that I want to throw out there. If you're trying to make money, what is going to be the lucrative way to do it? Should you be a strip club owner or should you be an escort / dancer? Like, which one of those is really the way that you're going to make the most money?
Depends on your talents and like what you know you can do. Like if you're good at managing, probably own it. If you're good at talking to people and, doing animations and stuff like that, then probably a dancer.
The girls
But I
I know
do
that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say one more thing. Like if people are interested in like dancing and hosting, but they don't want to be a stripper or an escort, I started out just like at a live music venue dancing on the stage, and I got paid like 3,000 lindens a night for that, just like a straight salary.
Oh,
Could you tell us
totally.
about
I mean,
that? Can you tell? Yeah, because I want to know about all ways to make money. Like, what were the steps involved?
Yeah.
Where did you work?
So before that, because like usually working at a strip club, you have to be a certain age too, right? Your avatar has to be a certain age and has to look a certain way.
Hmm.
So before that, I just applied at a live music event venue, and they would have different music events. So every Thursday night, I would go dance on the stage for the live music events, and he'd pay me $3K every time to dance for like 4 hours. And I found that on the what's it called, um,
SL
the
Employment Forum.
forums.
Hmm.
Yeah, I found that on the forums. Same thing, just applied. But I did invest in my own dances for that because not all of them have like dance animations.
Okay.
But yeah, it was it was good money.
And what look
yeah.
would you have to do that? Even stripping, like what look would you have to have for stripping,
Um,
escorting versus hosting? And which one is more like stringent of a requirement, would you say?
Again, I guess it depends. Like the live music event was pretty lenient. Like you could look like anything. We would just pretty much have matching outfits. But at the strip club that I work at, we had to have mesh body, mesh head, skin matching, up-to-date clothes. They kind of wanted you to be more curvaceous, womanly, not like a baby-looking avatar, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some clubs, they do want you to look kind of like baby, younger, not like a child, but the younger look.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on like the club. So I would just try and dress and look the part for the club that you're
I
going
just want to
to.
clean that up, right? So I don't think that Izzy saying baby. What she means is like it
No,
depends on
like
what club that
baby
you work at.
doll.
Like yeah, some people like that really voluptuous, curvy look, and other people just like maybe a more proportionate body, like a little bit more slender, and it could be like a normal looking Abby. Would you say? Would you say that instead?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, but like perfectly put together.
yeah. Like when I was interviewing, I wasn't exactly perfect. Like I had the mesh head, the mesh body, everything, but the hiring manager was like, "Can you do this with your skin? Can you change this a little bit?" So they just tweaked it a tiny bit just to kind of fit you into the club.
What did
So
they ask you to change specifically? Like, did you have to buy new skin for like 900 Linden or?
yeah, I had to get a new skin because mine wasn't matching that good.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically told me to get a new skin. That's really all I had to do, and like change the width of my neck and just some things like that. So some people are picky, but I know other clubs they don't really care at all. So
Okay, and so what about like role playing, guys? How important is role playing, especially for, I guess, text-based escorts or strippers? Because I'll tell you
Uh,
this, I'll tell you guys a quick little funny story. Junie and I, one day, we went all just for fun, because we're just having fun, because we wanted to, because we heard that certain clubs require like this really stringent role play, right? And I said, I just wonder how well these, escorts or strippers roleplay in SL. So we just went around tipping people like 75 to 150 linden just to see what their thank you would be like. And I would say out of the 10 clubs we went to, did we go to 10, June?
Yeah, it was probably like 10.
There was probably one girl who was good. There was one girl at one club. One girl was trying to avoid us like the plague, like because she had the commenter question pack and all we had to do was touch it and it was like, oh, tell us about what you like. It was a very simple question that anyone off the street could have answered and she was so shy, it was impossible for her to do that. So what do you guys think about the emoting skills and where does it have to be?
Well, and again, I think that comes here basically from your skill in real life. Like, especially with roleplay, I remember, God, it's been years now, but back when I was doing that, I had somebody request that I roleplay as his sister because he had this fantasy here of, being with his sister.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Pornhub will do that to you.
And the thing is, and the end all be all of it here is that everybody here has got their own fantasies and their own thing here. But when you are going to an escort, you're going to somebody here who can keep a professional guise about, who takes your suggestions here seriously and takes what your needs seriously for that moment. Mm-hmm. I mean, Mark can probably elaborate on that more.
What do I need to do?
We were talking about here, like, basically an escort here takes, the needs seriously of the moment, especially when it comes to role play.
So we're just saying, like, what level do you have to be at emoting? Does it have to be like a para role player, semi-para, or just like proficient enough so that a person could, entertain themselves while responding to you?
I would never hire anybody that couldn't make magic with their words. Okay. But these days in SL, a lot of places are offering like wheel spins and toy play and all that, and a lot of guys are moving to that instead of the emotes and all that. The women still like the power of the word and they like to imagine, but the guys, they want to just hear the woman,
Can I just read what Crymson wrote? Crymson, Marder slides behind Mousie's chair and ruffles her hair. You got to be at least this good.
At least that good.
That's good.
Thank you, Crymson.
I will say at my main club that they did test us on our emoting since it's a text-based club. I don't know, Mark, if you like test people's emotes when you hire them.
Yeah, you have to have emotes on the application. So
yeah. So it depends how extensive, but you have to have at least some skill.
Guys,
yeah, you got to keep people entertained.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of people that I've met in SL actually started off as strippers. So I don't want you to feel like it's as uncommon as you think it is. Like some of you might say, it's uncommon. But if you're in a relationship, or maybe if this is just absolutely not for you, we're not forcing this on you at all. It's just interesting to me. That's why I'm asking so many questions about it. You can work as a hostess. You can work reselling Gatcha. What about as a landlord? Does anyone know anything about renting Sims? Is that a big pain in the ass? Like if you are a premium member and you have 1024 land, would it be beneficial to rent 2 or 3 spaces? Can that help you out? Or resell land for that matter? Some people pay 2,000 linden for land and turn around and resell it for 2,500.
I mean, again, that's one of those. Oh, sorry, Mark. You probably have more experience.
I was going to say that sounds like a colossal waste of my time for 500 linden. With the amount of turnover and people that like rent something for a week and then leave and then like just setting it all up and all that, it's just, unless you're doing it like full scale and that's your job and you're hiring people to run it with you and like be like CSRs and stuff, like the major people, I would not do that at all.
But Mark, let's examine that, right? Because you put an ad out and with the technology that's out there these days, all you have to do is click on the teleport pad, see the unit, pay. Like the owner's not involved at all. Maybe a question, how do I stream music here or things like that if a person didn't read the note card properly and they leave, they're gone, maybe you just have to repost an ad. So it's like, I would think just pressing a few buttons here and there, no?
I think in order to make enough money to actually be worth your time, you'd have to have a lot of Sims.
Okay.
Just doing like one parcel at a time is not going to do you any good.
Just a
There's
little
already
shopping
so many.
money.
There's already so
Or
many.
skyboxes.
I can name like 6 real estate people. Like right now, I can just drop you their note cards. There's no need for more people to do that.
Okay.
Well, and
I
you
don't
were
think-
talking about. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Crymson.
Oh, I was going to say, you were talking about earlier here bringing something unique. And the thing is here, maybe if your skill isn't social, like your skill isn't social intelligence, maybe your skill is creating. I mean, I have the pleasure of working with designers day to day who make amazing, wonderful creations for SL. And they do it here using free programs. You know, if you can draw, you can create.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I
that's
agree.
anything.
I know lots of creators.
Mm-hmm. That's anything from like tattoos to mesh outfits. And guys, if you're not aware, I do have a Meet the Creator series on SL where I've interviewed, I think, about 4 creators. Johnny from Paragon. We had Ampersand from Adored, so that's a makeup artist. Clothes designer, Alatorre Rick. And then we had the creator of Zuby Babies. Carrie Tatsu was on the show. So I didn't focus so much on those type of creations because I think I've already covered that in other videos. But yes, that's obviously out there for you. So, like, to sum it up, because we're already at 40 minutes, guys, like, what would you say is a quick, easy way to make shopping money? Would you guys just say, like, hosting or gotchas and things like that?
I would say hosting or dancing casually. It doesn't have to be stripping at all.
Okay.
And if it's something where design is more your suit here, doing makeovers for people, making shapes.
Yeah.
You know, that we have a lot of people who are shape makers, and they note card here the outfits they put together, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a possibility.
And there's people that do sim decorating. There's people that do photography.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of different ways.
Yeah, social
Also-
media.
Yep. Blogging is. I mean, you might not make a lot of money blogging, but you can get free stuff blogging.
Yeah,
You can totally
get
get free stuff
Yeah.
blogging.
So I mean, free stuff is almost as good as making money because you're not buying it. So I mean,
Yeah.
basically,
That's what I'm trying to do now that I've done the whole stripping thing. Trying to branch out. I was trying to learn how to like retexture like mesh things that have already been made because you can resell what's it called? Full print or
Full perm.
full prim.
perm.
You can get full prim stuff, buy that, and then retexture it yourself and resell that. But it's still kind of hard.
That's a good way. I didn't even think of that. So what program do you use to do that, to texture?
Mainly Photoshop. I think you can use Blender, but I think for texturing, Photoshop's probably the best.
Is that what you're using?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's actually a really good idea. And then you could sell like full perm textures to people on Marketplace. That's a great idea. And so June, like you've just literally, I know that you're going to school for like graphic design and things like that. So it kind of puts you in a slightly different category, but you just started making mesh items. And what program are you using, June?
I use Maya in Marvelous Design.
Okay. So
And so I use Photoshop. I use Photoshop for the textures as well.
Okay, so a person who's just like starting in SL and wants to tinker in Maya and Marvelous Design, how long would it take them to put out like an outfit or a product or something like that?
I would say it takes about maybe an hour or so to really learn the ropes of Marvelous Designer. And then if you want to go ahead and turn those creations into a mesh, then you have to go into Blender or Maya. And that takes about maybe a couple of weeks or so to really get used to the program. So maybe within a couple of weeks, you should be able to come up with a new clothing line or a new product.
But it will just take you time to obviously perfect something. But I mean, if you wanted to start and sell something a little bit lower price, that'd be okay. It's a good place to start. So yeah, guys, I think that's a lot of. Oh wait, Crymson, I can't even believe we didn't ask you this. How do you become a CSR rep, and do you get paid for that?
So being a CSR here, like I said, it's just another social skill. It just so happens here that I'm a nerd in real life. I actually have 15 years of IT experience in real life. So with that, I was able to step in here when Genus needed me. That's actually a funny story, but I don't want to take up the whole interview here.
Well, tell us if it's a funny story. We like to laugh.
Well, the previous CSR here for the Genus project here, I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but we had a little bit of a disagreement about how things were run in group. And she had this thing where she kept on being concerned here and coming to me asking me if I wanted her job. And I kept on trying to explain to her that, no, you cannot pay me enough to be a CSR on my off time. You know, I've been, I've been, like I said, I've been a CSR here for Disney, for Yahoo, for a bunch of companies.
In Second Life or real life?
No, in real life.
In real life, okay.
In real life. And so it ended up being a thing here, and she continually kept asking me, like, well, are you going for my job? And I kept trying to tell her, no, I'm not. And it got to the point here where I made a joke one night here, and I think I called her a robot, like jokingly, because I call everybody robots. I call myself a robot. And it was misinterpreted here because, you know, English isn't everybody's first language. I'm sure people here have had different experiences. At any point here, I was in danger of being banned from the group over it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it got to a point here where I realized I needed to step up. And so I did. I wrote a letter here to Genus here, and it was something where I'd already had a rapport, having been a fan of Anna for years. So they listened to me here, and they were willing to give me a shot.
Okay. And so would you say that most CSR reps get paid for it, or is this for the love of the product, or how does this work?
It depends here on the person. However, I'm going to say this now. If you are an official CSR, if you are doing customer service business, please make sure you get paid. Some people here, they get product and, you know, they get various other perks. Please make sure you also get a stipend as well. I've seen a lot of people here that end up kind of getting sucked into more of like a street team sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're promoting for us. Cool. Let me go ahead and give you the cool product that we're promoting, which is great, you know, but also make sure you're getting money here for the efforts that you do.
What's a reasonable...
You are a professional.
No, I agree with you. What's a reasonable amount for a new person to ask for? And what's a reasonable amount of time to work?
Well, again, it depends here on the industry you're going to. Like, if you're doing something like water horse, if you're working, you know, 1 or 2 hours a week or something like that, you know, handling note cards, that sort of thing, maybe start out here at 5,000 to 10,000 per week. Not per week, but per month. If you're stepping up here to something like, you know, if you're going into like Baddie or to Genus or something like that, you're dealing with possibly up to, you know, 1,000, I think 100K we're up to now for our group. And it's something here where, I mean, just because I log off Second Life, that doesn't mean my job is done.
Yeah, because I see on Discord, that's why I'm asking you so for a company like Genus, you can get paid, depending on your level of seniority, you can get paid up to 100,000 lindens a month doing that?
Well, you could. I mean, it's something here where Anna basically said here, I love this. When she told me she was going to pay me, and I protested and told her she did not need to, she said here, no, we're going to pay you 50,000 a month. That is standard. And so I kind of hold by her on that. She obviously would have more industry experience than myself.
Okay. Well, so guys, you heard it straight from Crymson, who's like CSR extraordinaire here. And basically, if stripping is not for you, or escorting or getting in the adult side, and you're not sure about hosting because maybe you're personable, but you're not personable in a, hey, how you doing? Ooh, I love that dance kind of way. Like, you can also work as a CSR rep if that's more in line with what you do in real life. How do I get that job, Crymson?
Honestly, you stay up to date. You stay involved. You stay in as part of the group. You don't get noticed here by people unless you're actively helping them. I get people here who you know, will come into a group here for a week or so and see like, oh, I really enjoy helping people here with this. Can I be a CSR? That's great here, but the thing is, you should be CSR regardless here of your position. You should show your talent here, and that's how you get noticed in this world. At least for the CSR world.
I got one thing to say. There's not enough money in SL to pay me to deal with dumb people's questions all day. I'm sorry, you are a saint.
Well, and that's the thing here. I don't have dumb people. I have divas.
Aw. See, Mark, do you see the difference there in perspective? That's why you're not a CSR rep.
No, I'm not. I know that, and I know her. She's the best at it.
Yeah, and Crymson, honestly,
She's
you're
good at her
really
thing, and I'm
good.
good at mine. And
Yeah, I have to agree. Because she's really good. Like, she's super patient. Like, she explains. You're so enthusiastic about the job that you're doing as well. So so it does matter. You have to have the personality that's suited for this sort of position.
oh, she's priceless. She's worth more than that. But I couldn't do
Aw.
that for. But I couldn't do it for any amount of money. So it's just different people. I'd be like, what? You can't do that? Like, okay, bye. I don't have time for you.
Well, and the truth of the matter here is you do what you love.
Right.
That's the biggest thing here in the SL. You cannot come to any job and think that you just show up and, oh, people will pay you for doing a thing. You have to work harder than that in Second Life to make money. Because the thing is here, yeah, you can just buy money, and people do just buy money in Second Life. You have to love what you're doing.
Agreed.
If you don't love it, don't think about this here as a money-making platform.
So is CSR rep by invite only?
It usually is. It's something here where people will notice here and people will network. But the thing is, write note cards, talk to owners, talk to people here. If you're a fan of something here, let them know you're a fan.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. Another way to make money in SL is maybe being a vlogger. So I can talk about this briefly, guys. I'm really, really, really new to this. I started my channel 3 months ago. I'm actually monetized now. I will know about my earnings shortly, so watch my commercials if you want to support me. That's how I get paid, via AdSense through YouTube. But in addition to that, I have had people come up to me and say to me, hey, Mousy, I'll give you items, product, clothing, or I'll give you money if you film my store. So number one, I don't do things personally unless I really love it, and I really believe in what you're doing. That's the only way I'd have you on my channel. Or if I'm appreciative of something that you're doing and I think you're talented, I definitely want to give you exposure. But June and I were recently asked to film like sort of a introduction of introduction or overview of a person's company. And not to say we're making $1 million, but it paid $50 US. So that's a way to make money. If you get visibility and you gain yourself up and you have a platform and you have a voice where you can reach out to people, there are ways that creators will come up to you and ask you to showcase their product and brands. So that's just to give you an idea. So this is totally hobbyist. I would say it's a little bit more than shopping money, but it's like maybe, I don't know, pay a cell phone kind of money and live in SL fairly decently and be able to do whatever you want in SL. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So that's another way to do it.
Oh, you've only been doing it 3 months? Wow.
Only 3 months, yeah.
You're doing really good.
She really is. I don't know how many times here in the last week I've been like, hey, Mousy, do you have room for it? Hey, Mousy, look, my friend was like...
Yeah.
Yeah, and Crymson, like, you've been a godsend. She hooked me up with Ampersand, and everyone loved Ampersand's interview, and she was amazing to interview. But it's to the point where before I used to write out these elaborate note cards and beg people to come on my YouTube channel, and I don't have to really do that anymore. Like, people are literally coming up to me. I don't even know the last time I thought about content to make, because my subscribers are amazing. Like, they'll leave notes in the comments. Mousy, I want to see this, or I want to see that. And so the content is basically given to me. Like, I just listen to what people want.
Yeah, well, when
Totally
you're
a
passionate
part
about... Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, when you're passionate about something here and you're talented at it, it shows. I mean, heck, like with Marrk. I mean, you've been working at how many clubs now?
A few.
Yeah, a few. And it's something here where, I don't know, I've been invited to teleport to this club or that club, and it's because my friend is there, you know? And I'm sure it's the same way with you, Mousy. A lot of people are like, oh, well, my friend Mousy does vlogging.
Yeah. That's very true. And not only that, so just so that you guys know, for the my Mousy Safe House that I'm creating, which is an area where all my subscribers can hang out, either watch YouTube shows with me, or I'll give 3 hours of free makeover advice for anybody who wants to work on their what do you call it? Sorry, avatars free of charge. 3 hours a week. I want to donate to that, or 3 hours every 2 weeks, something like that. We'll work on it. That location or the parcel that I have is absolutely free. It's an exchange. So things like that will happen. And I've also done makeovers in SL for about 7,000 Linden per makeover due to the fact that I have this channel now.
Did you do You didn't do makeovers before the channel, just after this
No,
now?
after.
Okay. Because I was wondering, like, how do you go about, advertising that you're doing makeovers for people? Like, I feel like I don't know how people would approach that.
I feel like it's easier for bloggers who have like a Flickr following of 1,000 or other forms or other platforms because I notice it in their profile. So people follow their blog, they know
Oh,
them, and they notice their profile. So yeah, that's
okay.
so there are tons of ways to make money in SL, and it's like what Crymson said. You have to excavate and find out what your specific talent or niche is, and then explore. Yeah, because I'm not a great editor. I don't think I'm the best camera woman, but I do have some personality and I'm inquisitive and I like talking to people. And that's the talent that, oh, and I'm fearless too. So I'm not afraid to do something, even though it's not going to be 100% perfect. So that's what you kind of have to find out. What are you good at and make sure you're not as risk averse. Don't spend tons of lindens, like Mark said. Don't open a strip club, even though you've never stripped before, you have no clientele. like you have to use some common sense, but whatever, don't be risk averse either.
And to add on to that here, don't disrespect the community that you're going into. Like, be willing to start at the bottom. Be willing here to be humble. That's how you meet people. That's how you learn how to do things.
Yeah, that's
especially here in Gatcha.
Yeah, and everything I've learned how to do, I try to reach out to somebody first and just talk to them. Always had a good time with that.
Guys, I want to share this with you because I should have shared this in the beginning of this video, and I'm kind of sad that I'm doing it 56 minutes in. This is Luxe LA NOHO, and Angel is an amazing, amazing, amazing builder as well as sim designer. She's working because we're going to have a party to celebrate my 1,000 subscriber mark that I hit, and she's going to design for me. If you guys have never been to this luxury RP community, it's based on LA. It looks just like LA. We have MGM Studios, Rodeo Drive, everything here. Please come check it out. In addition to that, she's opening in another sim, Luxe LA Soho. She's been working nonstop. There's going to be an aquarium, a Whole Foods, all kinds of amazing things. So I'm going to put that link below. So here's a huge shout out to Angel, and she came over here and set us up so that we can have one extra person at the table. So thanks, Mark, for joining us as well. That was completely unexpected.
I blame her.
Yeah, it's always my fault.
Okay, guys. Does anyone want to leave the viewers with any lasting thoughts or opinions?
Work hard. Stay true to yourself. You can do it.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to network. Like, you cannot, like, there are some people in SL, like, I don't understand their personalities. Like, they think they're celebrities or something, and first of all, it's a game, and you're here to talk to people. It's a social platform. So, like, get that stick up your you-know-where and just relax and try to be friendly. But don't let those people hold you back. Like, guys, just be sure to reach out to others for help, because there are really friendly people here who are willing to teach you and mentor you and show you the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a social platform. Sometimes here you do have to social. Like, I always joke here, I don't like people, but I like helping people.
Okay, guys, I think that was really great. All, please be sure to like and subscribe. Mark, I know, Mark, tell us when your party is. It's Saturday.
Friday, 5 p.m. SLT at the Marquis.
You said Saturday. Okay, so Friday, 5 p.m. SLT time.
Yep.
We will leave the landmark in the description below. I'll also pin the comment because that's the most recent thing that's coming up. Crymson, where can we find you?
Anywhere that says Genus on it or Mesh Body, I'm probably there.
Okay. And Junie, where can we find you?
You can find me at Pixel Chick Simmer on YouTube, and you can find me here in SL as June Jules.
Okay. And she also has her marketplace horoscopes. I'll link that below as well. And Izzy, last but certainly not least, where can we find you?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, same username, Izzy Solstice. And I'm on pretty much every social platform with that username. If you want to come visit me in the club in Second Life, feel free to come to the Monarchy or the Twisted Orchid. Be happy to have you.
Okay. Izzy Solstice on everything. Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, Flickr, YouTube, that might Tumblr. Yeah, that might be it.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for like co-hosting and dedicating your time to coming to speak to everyone here on my channel. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for having
And
us.
just giving some
Thanks for
advice.
having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for letting me blab on as much as I have.
I wish I'd let you say the CRS thing first, because I think that people would have been really fascinating, because I have no idea how to get into that world. I've never seen an advertisement for it.
Yeah, me either.
Guys, just go to SL Inworld Employment, because there's also jobs you can get as a real estate agent. Like, there's tons of jobs you can get. So I know we focused a lot on the adult industry because, you know, I'm nosy and I want to be meshy. But
Yeah,
there's
go
tons
on
of
Inworld
ways.
Employment. That's where it's
Yeah.
at.
In the end here, if you're involved and if you're passionate about what you're doing here, people will throw money at you. They will find a way.
Yeah, they will.
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to sign off. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.